person makes a promise, it's because they want to assure the other person that what they say will happen. For example, if I say to Catherine, my wife, I promise that I'll be home by 7 o'clock. Like, I'm assuring her that I'll be home by 7 p.m. Perhaps I often come home later than 7, or perhaps, we have to be somewhere that requires me being home before 7, or perhaps there's something special on at home that begins at 7. Whatever the reason, my promise assures her that I will be home on time. But despite my best intentions, any number of things could happen that mean I cannot fulfill my promise. That's not the case with God. Now, last week we looked at Zechariah 7 and 8, and we thought about God renewing the covenant that he made with his people. I will be their God and they will be my people. And God kind of excited his people about a possible future where the temple will be completed, the priesthood would be re-established, the people will enjoy all God's blessings, and they will possess the land promised to them by God. Well, this week we'll see how God takes back the land that he gave to his people. In Zechariah 9 verse 1, a prophecy. The word of the Lord is against the land of Hadrach and will come to rest on Damascus. For the eyes of all people and all the tribes of Israel are on the land, and on Hamath too, which borders on it, and on Tyre and Sidon, though they are very skillful. Tyre has built herself a stronghold. She has heaped up silver like dust and gold like the dirt of the streets. But the Lord will take away her possessions and destroy her power on the sea, and she will be consumed by fire. So God's people have returned from exile in Babylon. However, there's still a large area of Israel that was taken prior to the exile and still doesn't belong to the people of God. In this section we read of Hadrach, which is on the Syrian border with northern Israel, as well as Tyre and Sidon, which is modern-day Lebanon and is on the kind of western border of Israel. And the message of God to Zechariah is that he will take back the land that was taken from his people. He will take back their possession and destroy their power. They will be defeated. And Zechariah 9 verse 5, Ashkelon will see it and fear. Gaza will writhe in agony, and Ekron too, for her hope will wither. Gaza will lose her king, and Ashkelon will be deserted. A mongrel people will occupy Ashdod, and I will put an end to the pride of the Philistines. See, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Ekron, and Gaza are towns in ancient Philistia, so think Philistines, but today Gaza is in Palestine. And so the message to Philistia is that they will see the hand of God bring destruction on the north and the upper west, and they will fear for their lives. They, like the others, will be defeated, and the promised land will be given back to God's people. However, there's an interesting development at the end of this section. Zechariah 9 verse 7. I will take the blood from their mouths, the forbidden fruit from between their teeth. Those who are left will belong to our God and become a clan in Judah, and Ekron will be like the Jebusites. But I will encamp at my temple to guard it against marauding forces. Never again will an oppressor overrun my people, for now I am keeping watch. Okay, so God will defeat the surrounding nations. However, some of those who are defeated will be incorporated into the people of God, albeit in a subservient role. Now, friends, there is a lot that we could take from this passage. However, what stands out is the fulfillment of God's promises to his people. God promises to give them land, and although he exiled them from that land, he will return that land to them. Okay, the promises of God for us also include land. However, the land promised to us is eternity. And through faith in Jesus, we will live forever, either here in a renewed earth or elsewhere in the heavenly realm. Either way, like the people of God in Zechariah's day, we can trust in the promise of God. And so, with that in mind, why don't you take a couple of minutes to pray and thank God for his promises to us.